So the other day, I was on a Zoom with several transformational teachers. Most of us knew each other and some of us didn't. So one participant made the suggestion that we each take about 10 minutes to summarize what we teach. So instead of what I've been teaching for the last 40 years, I decided to share what I've been teaching for the last 4. And those are the 4 elements of what I call the new success. And I'm going to share them with you today. Oh, by the way, I'm Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Incorporated, where we provide tools and techniques for you to live your ultimate life. So the first element of the new success is commitment to spiritual practices. And I say this one first because building a successful life is not possible without a spiritual foundation. It would be like trying to build a house or a physical building without a physical foundation. The building would just crumble. And the deeper the foundation, the more unshakable the building, even if there's an earthquake or a hurricane. The deeper our silence based on our spiritual foundation, the more unshakable we will be in the face of emotional earthquakes or social or political hurricanes or worldwide calamities. So ask yourself, how much of your day do you commit to your spiritual practices? The second element of the new success is your commitment to energetic practices. There's a difference between a spiritual practice and an energetic practice, but they're both necessary. You see, a spiritual practice would be like meditation or yoga or going to church or temple or the red tent or ecstatic dancing or being a part of a drumming circle or walking a labyrinth, anything that creates inner silence. But it's a deliberate practice. It's a practice that we take out time from our schedule deliberately to do, okay? An energetic practice would be, for example, something like rejoicing in the success of your competitors, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, practicing forgiveness or radical honesty, facing your fears, having gratitude for the gifts that come into our lives, and even for those things that don't appear to be so great in our lives. When we do these energetic practices, we dissolve the barriers between us and everything our hearts desire. And when we do some of them, like maybe doing something that scares you every day, or at least when it's presented to you, to face it and go through it, then we expand our comfort zones. The third element of the new success is living what in Sanskrit is called your dharma. The word dharma is literally translated as the way. It's the way things are supposed to be when everything in creation is in order. The way the word is more often used is that dharma is the purpose for which you were put on this earth. So we say using your God-given talents would be living your dharma. Doing what makes your heart sing is living your dharma. When you're not living your dharma, there's an emptiness in your life. And it also creates a void in the matrix of creation and chaos on subtle levels. When everyone is living their dharma, the planet will be imbalanced, and it's in balance. And it says in the Vedas, the sacred texts of India, that we will be living in an age of enlightenment. And the fourth element of the new success is engaging in sacred activism. The term sacred activism was coined by the great writer and visionary Andrew Harvey. Sacred activism is also sometimes called spiritual activism. The definition is the coming together of spirituality and activism. So it's activism that comes from the heart, activism that's compassionate and kind and positive. It's also fierce, but it's not about being against something. It's about being fiercely for something. It's embodied by this quote from Mother Teresa, who, when asked why she wouldn't attend an anti-war rally, she said, "When you have a pro-peace rally, I will be there." So sacred activism is how we can channel our desire to make a difference in the world in a way that's kind and not cruel and not vindictive, and a way that creates solutions and doesn't add to the problem. Andrew Harvey offers that the large-scale practice of sacred activism is an essential element for preserving and healing the planet and all of its people. He actually said this, and I have a quote for you from Andrew. He says, and I quote, "A spirituality that is only private and self-absorbed, one devoid of an authentic political and social consciousness, does little to halt the suicidal juggernaut of history. On the other hand, an activism that is not purified by profound spiritual and psychological self-awareness and rooted in divine truth, wisdom, and compassion will only perpetuate the problem that it's trying to solve, however righteous its intentions. When, however, the deepest and most grounded spiritual vision is married to a practical and pragmatic drive to transform all existing political, economic, and social institutions, a holy force, the power of wisdom and action and love and action is born. This force I define as sacred activism." And those are your 4 elements of the new success. And by living these 4 elements, you will have a life well lived. Sending you love.